Hey guys, FTG here, and I'll be talking about a Power Sword Assault build for patch 11.0 Space Marine 2 using the newly fixed Overcharge perk. Now, Overcharge in patch 11.0 is finally working for the Assault class on more than just a Thunderhammer. In patch 10, this perk was broken to only work on the Thunderhammer for whatever reason. And on top of that, they actually updated the description on this thing too, to properly reflect what it actually does. It now says damage from held and charged melee attacks increases by 25%. So this perk will affect literally anything that you hold your button down for. That includes Power Wave on the Power Axe, the Whirlwind Attack, Power Rake, Stomp, that kind of stuff. So really powerful perk, and also the 25% damage buff here is multiplicative versus the additive buff of other things in the game. So a really substantial increase, which is why it's such a good perk. Now, for the Power Sword option I chose, I did take a block Power Sword today. I'll probably talk about a Xenophase at some other point in time, but for now I'm taking this because it is the overall most damaging option for the Power Swords. And on top of that, it's just a ton of fun to use for me, and having that super heavy hitting Power Rake feels really good. Now, for the perk tree I set up this way, I take Armored Strength first. If you have armor remaining, melee damage increases by 10%. Moving here into the perk Master of Offense. After switching your sword combat style, use a 20% more melee damage for 5 seconds. The cooldown is 10 seconds. Now, the reason this perk is so good is that usually on a power sword, when you switch your sword combat style, you can do this out of a dash, which means you can immediately go into a lunging attack, which means you can trigger things like active attrition if you want, on top of triggering the 20% damage buff here, on top of getting a power rake off during that 5 seconds of a 20% damage boost, which is really, really nice. And really great synergy there, because it comes out to like a 45% damage boost on an enemy if you trigger the Master of Offense here for your Power Rake, on top of using active attrition out of the lunging attack for the 25% damage debuff for 5 seconds. So really good synergy there, and that's why I do prefer this over things like Master of Defense down here, which is the exact same effect. It's just a 20% less range damage instead of damage increase, which is still pretty good, just like not super good for the build I'm doing today. Next perk here is Perpetual Strength. Moving down here to Perpetual Strength for a 10% melee damage increase. Then I pick up the perk here, Tranquility, which really doesn't matter at all for us, but we have to take this, move here into the actually good perk, Melee Onslaught. This weapon deals 10% more melee damage. Then I move up here into, or move down here I should say, into Hard Target. And then I pick up the most important perk with Cutting Edge. Power Rake deals 50% more melee damage. Now, this perk is so damn good that it's kind of ridiculous they have not buffed the one above here at all. A Reeling Blow has a cooldown of 15 seconds here for a 40% less damage for 8 seconds on a Power Rake. This is just not a good perk. Like, I don't know what Saber's philosophy in building some of these weapon perks is, but some of these are just blatantly better than others, and this is one of those cases. Next perk here is Extremis Slayer, moving up here into Majora's Slayer. Then I pick up Terminus Slayer. I do skip over Minora's Slayer because this weapon really does not suffer against Minora's in the first place anyway, so kind of redundant. And I pick up Power Restoration instead for 100% more CHP regen on power style attacks, which is actually pretty nice for horde clear, so I do take that for that reason. You know, if you want to take speed restoration, you could. If you want to skip both of these and take Minora's Slayer, you could do that as well. You know, that is all up to you. But that's pretty much all there is for my power sword build here. Now for the secondary option, I once again take Retribution's Bequest, the new heroic heavy bolt pistol. I actually love this weapon quite a bit. The heroic perk effect here, no help is coming, actually saves you a ton of ammo. Shooting an enemy with the Elite Scream Sass stops it from calling for reinforcements, and headshots kill in one shot. The reason this helps you out with ammo is that, first of all, you are not fighting another horde if you stop the reinforcement call, on top of the fact that in absolute difficulty, when you stop an enemy's reinforcement call, they will usually go enraged, which means you're getting rid of a reinforcement enemy on top of the fact that you're getting rid of the enraged enemy instantaneously, so really good for that. Now, I will say, unfortunately, in patch 11.1, Saber Interactive broke this perk a bit. It will not actually stop elite calls on a body shot anymore. It will only kill the guy instantaneously on a headshot, which is not too bad. In some cases, that can actually be better because you just want to get the headshot off, but the fact that it doesn't actually do what it says anymore after a single update is pretty funny. But like, what are you going to do? It's Saber, it's Space Marine 2, it's just how it is sometimes, and bugs take forever to fix in this game for whatever reason. Now, for the perk tree here, I just go down the bottom tree and pick up the most important perk here, in my opinion, which is Death Strike. After killing a Majora's level or higher enemy in melee combat, you will deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. This will also trigger off a finisher and a 25% damage buff for 10 seconds for something you do all the time, which is melee kill an enemy on the Assault class or finish an enemy on the Assault class. It is really nice to have. Next perk here is Able Damage. After using a class ability, damage increases by 20% for 10 seconds. This perk is really nice on Assault because you will be using your jump pack all the time versus a class like Tactical or, say, Bulwark that have a much longer cooldown, so really good for us here. And also, the next perk I take here is Gunstrike Reload, and then the final perk is Tactical Precision, because headshot damage is just way more important in this game than body shot damage is, so having more headshot damage at a loss of, like, general damage is just overall way more worth it, so definitely pick this up. And the other perks are pretty standard, things like Extended Magazine, stuff like that, which is why I don't really go over them. Now, as far as another option would go, if you're fighting Chaos, I would take the Plasma Pistol or Inferno Pistol because these guns give you Stagger, and Stagger is really, really damn important versus Chaos. But for Tyranids like I'm fighting today, I would pick up this one. That's just, that's all I have to say about this one. And that's just my opinion. If you want to take the Bolt Pistol or the other heavy Bolt Pistol options, you definitely could. But, like, the only one I would properly avoid for, like, CHP regen is the Neo Volkite, because this one is probably the worst secondary for Assault currently. That's all I have to say about the secondary options in general. Now, for the perk tree, we start off here with Overcharge, because a multiplicative damage increase on our Power Rake is a ton of damage, and also Power Rake can hit Zoanthropes and Neurothropes out of the sky. It is pretty damn hard to do that on a normal power sword. This is why the Xenophase blade is actually better for Neurothropes and Zoanthropes, because you can actually chop them out of the sky quite easily, because the heroic perk effect here that's called Ancient Technology that makes your Power Rake waves wider. This changes the entire angle of your Power Rake to actually hit flying enemies in like a cone, so really good for that. That's like the only reason I prefer the Xenophase at times, or block version. But if you want to take this, you definitely could. Now, as far as the next perk tree option goes, I take Consecutive Execution, though to be honest, you could take Defense Mechanism, you could take Auxiliary Arsenal. They're all amazing perks. They're all top tier in this column. This is one of the most well-designed columns in the entire game, and it's kind of hilarious that it's on the Assault class that usually is kind of maligned for having bad perks. But this is a really good column, so really any option is good. But I'd pick this one because the 90-second Melt-A-Bombs, that is encounter winning. Equipment in Space Marine 2 saves your life, and anything that breaks a pickup economy in a game like this is going to be a top tier perk, and this one's no different, assuming the pickups are actually good, which they are in this game. Next perk here is Knowledge of the Enemy. Melee damage increases by 15% against Majoris or Extremis level enemies. Now, I just take this for the flat damage bonus, but like I said before, Active Attrition can be really good. This one says enemies hit by damage from melee attacks executed while sprinting or dashing take 25% more damage for 5 seconds. This is really nice for that, like, Master of Offense bonus that we talked about before, but Knowledge of the Enemy is pretty good for, like, flat ground pound damage. Next perk here is Strategic Strikes. All of your squadrons deal 20% more melee damage against Extremis and Terminus level enemies. This perk is a free melee damage buff for your whole team, though if you want to take proven efficiency, you definitely could. And the next perk here I take is Smiting Angel for a ground pound damage increase of 25%. Moving here into like the god tier perk, Zealous Blow, a ground pound kill restores jump packs charged by 10%. This perk generates so much damn value on the Assault class. If you are new to Assault, if you have never played this class before, this is probably the most important perk in this entire tree. The fact that this allows you to basically go into a horde of Minoris over and over and over and just get free damage off on top of regenerating your jump pack entirely is incredible. In siege mode, this perk scales up even more because there are just so many enemies to land on, and dealing free damage on Majoris, Extremis, and even Terminus on top of wiping out a horde, that's a god tier value perk, and this one's really, really, really powerful for that reason. Next perk here is Pride and Duty. After a finisher, ground pound deals 25% more damage for 10 seconds. I like this perk a lot because triggering a finisher in this game happens all the damn time. This will trigger off of any finisher in Space Marine 2. That includes things like gun striking Minoris lunging executes, and stuff like that. So having this 10-second uptime is super easy to maintain. Final perk here is Ample Ammunition. Any use of jump pack reloads the equipped ranged weapon increases damage by 50% for 10 seconds. Now, on the Inferno Pistol, this is really good because this gun has like a 15 business day reload speed, and even on this gun it is a very powerful option because getting 50% range damage increase on top of your other options like Practice Aim or Auxiliary Arsenal takes you up to like 85%, which is tremendous, and you are definitely able to feel this. Like, let's say you land on a guy and he's pretty low HP, or like a Zoanthrope and stuff like that, getting this 50% buff will just wipe them out pretty easily for that, and that's a pretty good option overall. Now for the prestige perks, I start off with Yielding O first. When charging a ground pound, you become invulnerable for 3 seconds. This perk is incredible. All you have to do is charge your ground pound for like a split second to actually trigger this effect, and once triggered, you can actually be invulnerable the entire trajectory of your ground pound. That is a really powerful effect. You can go through Neurothrope waves, Neurothrope beams, missile terminators, miniguns, you name it, you will not take any damage, so really good utility perk and saves your life at times. Next perk here is Adrenaline Boost. After a perfect time parry, block, or dodge, you won't lose control from heavy hits, and you can't be knocked back for 10 seconds. No knockback in Space Marine 2 will save your life. It will prevent stun locks, and really all these perks do is make it so a attack that would knock you over will only stagger you, an attack that would stagger you will only do nothing. Yeah, only do nothing. You heard what I said. Point is that it basically just reduces the tier of a stagger down 1 tier, so really, really good for that, and it will save your life. Next perk here is Fortitude. Health increases by 15%. You know, health increases in Space Marine 2 are top tier because there is a ramping damage reduction in this game, the lower your HP gets. So that ramping damage reduction becomes more effective the more base HP you have. So a really good option. Pretty much pick up these effects wherever you can find them. Final perk I take is Practice Aim. Range damage increases by 15%. A range damage increase of 15% is pretty nice to have. If you want to take Scramble Targeting for the 20% less damage from range attacks effect while surrounded by 5 or more enemies, this is also really good. You know, that is up to you. And perks like Duelist don't really do much for you once you actually know how to block in this game, or parry. And Commendation is just shit. So I would definitely choose between these 5. That's pretty much all there is for this build, guys. The Assault's in a pretty strong place. Overcharge feels really good with the Power Sword, and the Nova damage of this build is quite fun. If you're unaware what Nova damage is just a burst damage effect, so wiping out things like lictors and stuff like that in like one shot is pretty damn powerful. So hopefully this build guide helped you, and if you like content like this, subscribe for more. And as always, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about my Death Watch strip here as a Blood Angel, because I am actually pretty proud of this one, and that is all I have to say in this one, guys. Take it easy. Bye.
Wounds of the Imperial. Operation jeopardized. It seeks to drown us in sheer numbers.
Status. The facility is well stocked in mining gear. Requisition melter charges to eradicate the tunnels and halt the infestation.
Brothers, I am airborne melter charges. Scan for melter charge signatures. Sourcing melter ordnance is top priority.
Ours multi charges. Go over here.
Avenging aim. Place the melters in the high tunnels. Tyranid burrow clear.
That was the last one here. Let's find out.
Melter charge source.
It sounds like they're coming from over there. Yeah, there it is.
Sear the high burrow shut. Noble, sterilize these burrows and seen us. I'm airborne ready. Sector clear of Tyranid presence, except for the Trigon. Advance towards objective. Strike down the zone on threat.
We totally not hit by any of those. Okay.
Jump back review.
That's okay.
We have purged the zone from mind and matter.
Where the fuck did he go? Now this enemy type actually just has no thought put into it when it comes to a secondary only class. Absolutely none.
The zone from skull worth.
Good evening. What's up, Ghidorah? We're gonna go over here and finish up, hopefully.
Into the breach.
After this one, I might take a short break, and then I'll be back later for like Game Awards maybe, or tomorrow, to talk about whatever happens tonight. I might stream the Game Awards tonight. We'll see. I do have to go out later, so the definite maybe. Oh, this is nice. What we want.
How far you know that I must drag you back into the light.
Into Neuro Throw. See, this is where a Xenophase can be better, because you have that extra angle. Actually hit the boss. Hey, what's good, my guy? What's up, George? We're just gaming for a short while. Oh, thanks for just absolutely spitting those at me. Got no ammo here, though. Do that, though.
Avenging angel. Explosion. Fire.
Demonstration, dismemberment, disembowelment, drowning, dissection. Would you like to hear more?
Be as an angel of death. Jump pack review. Drink it. Despite its massive brain, it is but another. An airborne regiment. Visit the ravage of its own brain. That let this morass of alien hunter.
Hello, Osborne. Thank God for that great responsibility thing here. I mean, when you have 150% extra HP on your teammates, that's pretty nice. But the damage of the overcharge is quite good. I just wish overcharge affected the whirl, power whirl. That'd be nice. I think I'd actually prefer that.
Rally to me in the passage. Eliminate Xenos.
God, this stupid fucking bot. Let's get in here.
Together we go.
Thank you.
Disciplinary report.
Three meat lackeys seems like overkill, Galio. You
power zone. She hopes the Tyranids will annihilate you. But
Last
she
Fusel or Bolt Sniper? I mean, Last Fusel is better, in my opinion. Bolt Sniper can be better versus Tyranids, but like if you're going overall. I think it's the Last Fusel.
Bear witness to the summation of our divine arithmetic from long ago. Remember Project Zeta 6?
As my theorems predicted, your life vector has converged with renegade factors, and Zeta 6 was a waste of computational resources and one perfectly good products. Surrender now, and perhaps leniency can be granted after the mind grows.
You are a redundant.
I get so much damage with your sword. I can't get anywhere near those kills when using the block sword. I'm using your adrenaline stacks, or using the overcharge. Are you using knowledge of the enemy? Are you using master of offense? Are you building right? I mean, there are a lot of factors that go into that. I don't even know. We might also have. No, we don't have anything. We have a point blank damage increase. That's all we have on this one.
Power cell on my locus. Power cells will restore the functionality of the generators.
Hey, armor boost. Is it even over here? I don't think it is. I'll take a look. I'll see if there's something in my build. I mean, I'll post this build in a bit. Probably tomorrow. But to be honest, they're pretty much all the same when it comes to the power sword. Like, you either swap the first two perks, and that's about it. Hot take, I love the heroic bolt sniper. Even the hotter take, it's the most fun to play when playing against chaos. I mean, that's just a fucking insane take. It's the most fun to play against in a faction where they can literally just turn around and remove your entire purpose.
Hold those mines.
Let's grab this one.
Power dwells within this device. Bring power cells to the generators.
That. Reclamation or decapitation? I think reclamation is better. Decap is pretty good. The boss fight is just kind of boring. The Hive Tyrant is very obviously a boss that came out when the game first came out.
Light and darkness. How easily flesh parts deceive their perception.
Disrupt her attempts to connect with our facilities network. Mitrium will seize any opportunity to damage crucial data, which would deem this mission a failure. Do not let her connect to the consoles.
You shall have every last thought in her head to dissect, Magos.
I am copies of copies, backups of backups, and I degrade not. You have already fallen.
Hold this territory. Avenging angel at your disposal. Take flight and let terror. I'm airborne ready. Terminal connection. Console secure.
Return to Mitrium's containment unit.
Yeah, my screen's actually lagging from all these
The more you
guys.
thrash, the deeper you set our boats.
Xenos hunger is insatiable. Jump pack review.
Have a good stream, dude. Gotta shoot. Take it easy, man. Thanks for stopping by, Bihan. I shall retrieve this brain. I'm gonna grab the Sanctified Wrath Reliquary. Why not?
Science, Mitrium. Meridian, confirm possession of her quivering mass of computational gray matter.
Avenging.
Confirmed. Pilot, Meridian is ready for evacuation.
Sending updated extraction coordinates to you now.
Is the Power Gladius or the Heavy Bolt Pistol heroic version is very good next? I think the Heavy Bolt Pistol is probably the best because it's on all classes, but Power Gladius is probably the best knife in the game currently. Twitter fail, excuse me. Thank you for the Prime sub.
I am airborne ready. On my mark.
I was disappointed in the twin bosses. They don't really do much compared to the others. I found them the easiest so far. I mean, I think the Hive Tyrant is way easier than the 300 Primes. The Hive Tyrant has like 0 tight timings outside of the unless you get Sword Warrior in his wave, that's about it. That's the only tight window he has.
Storm is unrelenting.
Hive Tyrant's absolutely bullied in this game. Alright, let's go over here. Is there a best way for leveling weapons? Level 5 Siege seems pretty rough for new weapons. I mean, it's either that or spamming Decapitation. The Gene Seed. That's still the fastest. That is still the fastest. I mean, it's up for a while. Live off your videos. And guys, thank you, Twitter. All Twitter. No, thank you, Twitter fail. I'll keep making them. You're not. We will, I'm more so hyped for Tech Marine right now, though. I feel like this patch was a bit of a, it was a good patch. It's just a holdover patch. Heretical XP Truther and Trat. Of course.
I cannot land with that burrowing abomination lurking about.
Deep scans have penetrated the atmospheric disturbances and Metrium's meddling code. Trigon vulnerability data pushed to your displays.
The Imperium demands the Trigon's extermination.
Alright, thanks for just fucking opening up on me. Okay. Yeah, if this boss dug around less, it'd be way more fun. Or I should say, if this boss had more mechanics to actually interact with the digging portion. You can melt a bomb him, that's about it.
Jump pack refuel. Will the beast aims to pounce upon us? Free as an angel of
Melt the bomb. Is the Gene Seed a guaranteed spawn? I think there's always at least one on the map. It won't always be in the same spot though. Decapitation is just a very short map. It used to be shorter back when there wasn't a second boss spawn, Absolute. This is the only part of the boss I don't like. This shit. Takes forever. That's what I wanted.
Jump pack refuel. I am the righteous
Trigon kill confirmed.
That's that. That boss is cool. It's just the unfortunate part is that it digs around all the time. That's it. Like, I don't like mechanics just remove the boss from damage. I think that's probably why a lot of people like the Hive Tyrant in this game. It's just like a straight up fight the entire time. You can still do damage to the Hive Tyrant 100% of the fight. You have some like mechanics that will interrupt you from doing that a little bit, but you can still actually put out damage.